Now, Patriots, I'm not sure if y'all are familiar with the name of Jennifer Welch. And if you're not familiar with the name, you definitely may be familiar with some of the negative, most radical BS that comes out of this woman's mouth. Now, who this lady is, the left has been doing everything they can to find who they consider to be their version of Joe Rogan. And so in typical Democrat left-wing radical fashion, they go out and they find the most insane woman they can find to be their Joe Rogan, kind of still playing into that gender fluidity crap because she's a woman, Jennifer Welch. So she'll never be Joe Rogan. Why not just coming up with your own person on that side who can speak words that make sense and don't sound like total lunacy? Now, in this video, you're going to hear, and let me put viewer discretion, be advised, because what you're going to hear and see will show you just how insane the Democrat Party has become. And this woman has the gall to threaten. And when I say threaten, I'm not saying that figuratively. I mean, literally threaten Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer. And what she has to say about white men, about white people in general, being a white woman herself, will blow your mind. And listen, ladies that are watching this video, I have a lot of female patriots, women patriots who support the channel. Let me just say this. What I'm going to say, I mean, no disrespect, but that is the most unattractive, manly looking woman I have ever seen in my life. Now, I don't know if it's because her insides are so ugly that it makes her exterior look like that. And y'all have never heard me speak like that. But let me not even BS around. Let me get into it. But wait till you see and hear these video clips. It is mind boggling. And you're going to see who she runs with. But wait till you hear the threats. Now, as you can see right here in this article, it says disgusting creature Jennifer Welch, who hates white Trump voters, has an unhinged message for Riley Gaines. Now, you may or may not be familiar with who Riley Gaines is. Riley Gaines is the young woman who was an All-American swimmer at the University of Kentucky. And then Leah Thompson, the 6'4" male swimmer who decided in his senior year that he felt like he was a woman. And they literally put this man in women competitions. Leah Thompson was blowing other women out. I mean, setting records, just like the weightlifting. And women weightlifting, man got in it. And this man set records that will never be broken by women in the weightlifting. Not because women are weak, but because this was a big, husky man who competed in this contest because he felt like a woman that day. But you know what it shows me? It shows me that these males, because there's a difference between a man and a male. These males knew they didn't have the cojones to compete against their own kind. So they go over and they take advantage of competing against women and then have the audacity to raise the trophy up and stick their head out. With the national championship, seeing as Riley Gaines and Leah Thompson both came in that close, they decided that they would split. Guess who they allowed to hold the actual trophy? The man. They literally told Riley Gaines that it would look better if the man, Leah Thompson, held the trophy and she held like a freaking ribbon or a flower.
Well, do you have your trophy yet?
No, I don't actually. So that's another crazy thing. Once I got out of the water, we kind of like go behind the podium, the awards ceremony place, and they'll distribute the trophies. And so I walked back there and the NCAA official came up to me and he just said, "Hey, that was a great swim. We only have one fifth place trophy," which I understood. I get how that works. They only account, for one fifth place winner. So I get that. But he said, "We're going to have to give the trophy to Leah. Yours will be coming in the mail. Great job." And so I feel like I was kind of taken aback, and I don't think he necessarily expected me to really question it. But I was like, okay, I understand. But can I ask why, you're choosing to give the trophy to Leah? And he responded with, "Well, we're just giving the trophies out in chronological order." And so then I was thinking, and I was like, chronological order? We just tied. I don't really know what we're being chronological about. So can you explain? And he kind of just looked at me and said, "We just have to give the trophy to Leah, but we respect and admire you so much." And so at this point, he basically admitted to me, like the NCAA is trying to save face.
But let me get off into this. So this is Riley Gaines, and I'm going to let you hear a little bit of what Riley has to say, and then you're going to hear the most unhinged crap you've ever heard in your life. Check this out.
Morning. Very good to see you.
So good to see you. Let's break this down. You just disagree with her being a socialist. That's all. You disagree with her politics. And she starts these low blows. She starts with you finishing 5th in the national championship among D1 swimmers. And Brian gave me some stats earlier. He said only 14% of college students play sports at the college level. 5% play D1, and only 1%, Riley, finish in the top 5. So I wish almost you hadn't challenged her to a debate. I wish you had challenged her to the 200-yard freestyle or the 200-yard butterfly, because you would win in a debate and you would kick her tail if you had to swim against her.
Yeah, man, Inslee, I just cannot understand this line of argument that the Democratic Party is using. It doesn't matter if I finish first, 5th in the nation, or 55th, okay? The problem is not me. The problem is not my athleticism or my swimming ability. The problem is that we had a 6'4", less than mediocre man in the pool with us. And it's not just me who thinks that. It's not just the Republican Party that thinks that either. Every Gallup poll shows even 60 to 70% of her own party, the Democratic Party, agrees that it's wrong to put men in women's sports. So why in the world does AOC and other Democratic leaders, why do they continue to double down on this issue? For the life of me, I cannot understand it. I think AOC sees that it does well on social platforms like X or whatever the other platform is, but it does not do well in the real world. And I think they will continue to learn that in 2026 and beyond.
Okay, so now you heard that. Now here we go with Jennifer Welch. Now you heard what Riley Gaines had to say. Check this disgusting crap out by this evil-spirited woman right here. And this is just for starters. It gets really unhinged in the next clip, but check this out.
One thing I want to say about Riley Gaines, as she sits there and has the moral high ground against AOC, when I look at people, if I were to say who's more Christ-like, I would pick AOC and the atheist Jew Bernie Sanders and the Muslim Zoran Mamdani a million times over you, Riley Gaines, because Riley Gaines, all you do is hate on people. You are wound up like a cheap clock over trans people. You show them no grace, no compassion. You defend billionaires. You cheer and celebrate when children are zip tied. And then you have the audacity to get on television and try to lecture people who fight for the people that are suffering, that stand and put their arms around people that need sanctuary. And you try to act like you're better than they are. You're an insufferable twat. Nobody likes you. And no matter what, you will always have been the dumb bitch that tied for 5th place. And the only place that you can get a job is at bottom feeder Fox News, you insufferable twat. Nobody likes you, except for the other fake Christians that enjoy in their spare time watching children get zip tied and then sit there and justify it while they read the Bible with their hideous crucifixes around their necks. So fuck you, Riley Gaines.
Now, this woman, the thing about Democrats, they are such deflectors. Every piece of venom she just spewed on Riley Gaines is her. This woman goes on hate-filled rants against Christians, white people, Trump supporters, and she always thinks that she could step up and speak for black people or for what she considers to be people that are violated. She loves transgenders. Now, if you look at her face, is there any wonder why? Anybody ever took some time to look up under her hood to see what's going on, if you know what I mean, with all due respect? Because you're asking this woman, Riley Gaines, who worked her whole life and career to compete at the highest level against other women. You dump a 6'4" man swimmer who was ranked, I think 470 something, 460 something when he competed against men, who all of a sudden skyrockets to number 1 or top 5 when he's competing against women. And you expect them to feel, like she said, show grace. See, that's the problem with this transgender BS. Nobody gave a crap what people did in their bedrooms. Gay people have been accepted since I don't know how long. I've got gay family members, gay people in my family. Nobody cared what they did. What happened is when you tried to make us all live in delusion world with you, we see a 6'4" man with a mustache and you want us to call him ma'am. We see a 4'11" woman with a painted mustache and you want us to call her sir. And who made you the ruler or overseer of who has to treat people like what? You don't control anything. You for damn sure can't control your mouth or the way that you think, because she is so out of step and out of touch with society. She don't even realize living in her blue bubble. This is a 90-10 issue. I have not met personally any adult woman who has children that says, oh yeah, I'd love grown men to be in there with my daughter or with my son. But when you have childless people that have these perspectives, she doesn't care. This woman's face and the way she talked is like somebody pissed in her cereal and she didn't find out till after she had already ate the whole bowl. That's so venomous and her face is just so sucked in and she just spews hatred. But that was that disgusting clip where she called Riley Gaines a B, told her to F off, disrespected Christians, and called a Jewish atheist, Bernie Sanders, more Christ-like than what Riley Gaines was proposing. Zoran Mamdani, who hates Jews and is a self-proclaimed socialist, he's more Christ-like. Then we got AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the fake Bronx girl who grew up in the suburbs, but decides she's going to act like a Boricua from the Bronx who got it going on. All fake and performative. But that's not all. Check out this next clip from this woman. I just had to put this picture in there. This is who we talking about. The personification of evil itself. Look at her. But check this out, because she gets worse. Now, in this clip, this is how she responds to someone laughing at Charlie Kirk's life being taken. But not only that, listen to what else she says as she goes on this unhinged rant. Check this out.
Finally, if you think this Zoran thing is happening just in New York and you think people are waking up only in New York City, you're mistaken. Look at this clip of a wine mom at the No Kings March. Play the clip.
Whatever his name was?
Charlie Kirk, ma'am?
Yeah, him is horrible. Horrible.
Charlie Kirk is horrible?
Yes, I'm glad he's not here.
You're glad he's dead?
Yes.
Why would you say something like that, ma'am?
Because he was horrible on the campuses, the college campuses. Horrible person.
You know what? I do the exact same thing.
Well,
would you be glad if I would die?
Maybe. I'd have to think about it.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Be ashamed of yourself.
Your friend just said she'd be happy if I died.
I think we need to...
So listen up, Democratic establishment. You can either jump on board with this shit, or we're coming after you in the same way that we come after MAGA. Period. Stop taking AIPAC money. Go on an I'm sorry I took AIPAC money atonement tour if you want to stay in power. Stop missing out on these big rallies. Hakeem and Chuck should have been front and center introducing the next mayor of New York City, but no, they wouldn't show up because they're pussies. They're pussies that are beholden to the same corporations that helped Donald Trump get elected. And
now, you know it's bad when now they're lumping any Democrat that doesn't do what they say do. Now they're working with the same people that Trump worked, which shows how fake and performative it all is. And I love it. I love watching the same radicals that these Democrats gave power to, like people like her, to give her the authority, because she's the new Joe Rogan, that she could call senators and the leader of the Democrat Party in Congress the P word. She just did that. And she feels emboldened. And she's so psychotic. She believes that because she showed a video of a deranged lunatic senior citizen that's out there wishing on the death of other people, like that's a movement. She didn't show a whole bunch of people doing it. She showed one old radicalized, insane woman and her friend that was laughing at that when the lady said it. See, the derangedness is not just in young people, like folks like say, oh, it's the millennials and it's Gen Z. No, it's not. The radicalization is in people from 9 to 90 on the left side. That was a gray-haired older white woman laughing like that. And that was an older lady that said that BS. And they're all being charged up by buffoons like this skeleton. Like I said, I won't even go there personal, but let her finish.
This is just an embarrassment. Kudos to Bernie, to AOC, to Zoran. And that woman out in somewhere middle America saying, fuck Charlie Kirk, he was a racist, he was a piece of shit. There are so many more of us than there are of them. And these Democrats that continue to play patty cake with corporations and lobbyists, nobody wants that. Nobody wants you. We want politicians to speak freely and look at what the benefit is. Look at what is happening in New York. And you dipshits are sitting on the sidelines, running your social media like complete dorks. It's embarrassing. Get your shit together. Hakeem and Chuck, seriously, get your shit together, because the Democratic Party is moving on.
Did you hear how she spoke to senators and the leader of the House? That shows that these men are spineless. Spineless. And it also shows how deranged the Democrat Party has been completely taken over by the socialist far left wing. And that was all done by Nancy and Chuck. It was of their own doing because they're so insane. And they had the lamestream media backing them up, the USAID slush fund, the Soros money. These people literally developed the God complex. Look at Tish James, Big Tish. She goes out, commits an alleged felony 46 days before she brings up a former president on fake felony charge, on a fake civil suit. 46 days before, because they never thought he was coming back in. Adam Schiff committing mortgage fraud, allegedly. The FBI stashing, hiding stuff. They never expected Trump to come back. They underestimated us. Just like with this shutdown, the Democrats still think this is 2015 and that with the lamestream media that they can just social engineer everybody to somehow believe that this government shutdown that was done because the Democrats want $1.5 trillion added back to the budget. They want free health care for illegal immigrants, and they want $500 million to prop up left-wing radical publications like NPR and PBS. So they decided they were going to take the country hostage and felt like they could spin it to hurt Trump. They didn't expect this one thing. The American people are waking up. See, the best thing that happened was President Trump not being elected and letting Biden and the Democrats put their hands on the wheel for 4 years, because Trump couldn't have said it and described it in a manner that the people would have got. But the actions, the policies, the pain that was caused from those 4 years, even the most loyal Democrats are saying, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm not really willing to let my life get jacked up worse just to show party loyalty. That's all they're about. They don't give it. They act like they support, black and brown people, we love them. While in Virginia, you've got a black woman running for governor. Black woman would be the first one. You know what they're doing? Going against her. So they don't give a crap about this whole, we're for people of color. No, you're not. This trans and gay thing, they only doing that because that's the way the wind blew. So corporations followed suit until the corporations started losing money, like the Democrats are losing support. Corporations said, whoa, whoa, whoa. We were rocking with this pendulum because we thought Americans were dumb enough to fall for this crap, fall in love with socialism, let men become women, let men and grown folks be in children's bathrooms, and we would go on towards the road of destruction and running this country over the hill. The big problem was the Most High God stepped in and brought awakening on people. And folks whose eyes was closed and was blinded started seeing. And now they see. And the Democrats can't spin this. So now what are the Democrats doing? Chuck Schumer saying, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. What we're willing to do. We're willing to have a vote for people to get their SNAP benefits, but we're still going to keep the government closed because that's how nice we are. We want to get the SNAP, but we want to keep. No, Chuck, you realize that it's failing. Y'all are being blamed. And the same people that you act like you're trying to be so morally high for are the same ones that you're hurting. So no, you're not going to get the opportunity to try to act like you're being a hero for them while screwing all the rest of these other people. You made your bed, lay in it. Now, check out this clip here where her expressing more about white people. And tell me, after you see this clip, tell me if what she said is right. Because I've grown up around white people. We all have been together. In my entire life, y'all, I have never in my life been called the N-word by a white person. Ever. And I grew up in Detroit. So I have friends of mine that was around us. And yeah, we threw out certain terms and use certain words, not the way that someone who's trying to be offensive would use it. There is a way that it is used that is not offensive to that group of people. And there were white dudes and white girls who grew up with us, and they would use it. And nobody was tripping because we knew them. We knew their heart. We knew they weren't being offensive. And there's a difference between the hard ER and the A. Some of you might get it. Some of you might not. But the fact is, I have been called more racial names by black people, being a conservative and a Trump supporter, than any white people could have ever called me. And that's what's sad. Because I disagree, I'm all of these racial slurs that they would be ready to fight a person of a different race for calling them that. But they got melanin in their skin, supposedly supposed to be brothers. No, it shows me it's total ignorance and it's blind. Prejudiceness is blind. So you and I, you watching this, I have more in common with you than I do the vast majority of people that are black. Why? Because you and I, we believe in the Most High God. We believe in family. We believe that a man is a man, as a woman is a woman. Now, what people do in their bedroom is their business. But we agree that a 5-year-old has no purpose and no reason of knowing what a person does in their bedroom. And you and I both also agree that we don't have to live in other people's world of delusion. If you're a 6'7" dude with a mustache and a twig and berries, but you think that you're a woman, that's good for you. Why should I have to be in delusion land with you? But check out this clip of what you're going to say. Tell me, do you agree or do you disagree?
I'm a white woman that has lived in a red state my entire life. And I can tell you, when I'm around white people, they test the racist water. They test it on people like you all the time. And they'll try to say off-color things. I put my hand up. It absolutely happens. And you're fortunate that maybe you haven't experienced it.
You see the black guy's face? I'm going to take it back just a little bit because, again, this is how Democrats work. It be white liberals, especially white liberal women, that start all of this crap. She's trying to tell black people on the show what is happening to them. There's other segments with her trying to tell black people, what they really should be feeling about what's happening. It trips me out when somebody from another race has the nerve to tell me, oh, how are you switching out on your people being a conservative? And my thing to them is, why are you trying to hurt my people by forcing them to be a Democrat? And when I say my people, I'm not talking about color. I'm talking about God's children. Because I don't care what color you are. We all were created by the same architect, the same father, the Most High God. But let me let her finish with this ignorant crap.
Can I just say, literally this August, a white person said the N-word in front of me.
And the vice president. I'm a white.
Now, of course, this bug-eyed black chick, she is a far leftist. And of course, she was going to tune in to say, oh, you know what? You're right. I had a white person say the N-word around me like 5 minutes ago. Yeah, right. You've never said anything about it before. But now all of a sudden, it's like you got the Klan after you. Shut up. I get sick of these Democrats with that. Are there prejudiced people? Yes. But why do people act like prejudiceness only exists on the white side? I've actually heard somebody say, black people can't be racist. What? I'm not one of I call balls and strikes. I'm not one of these people say, well, yeah, we know what happened in the past. We know that. That's there. It'll never be changed. So how do we get away from it? We stop talking about it. We stop acting and walking in this energy of victimhood. Nobody today should feel any guilt about what happened yesterday on either side. No white person, man, woman, child, family owes anybody in my family anything. And anybody that says that lets you know just how weak they are. It's okay to acknowledge atrocities that took place. But to say, hey, that'd be like, imagine your parents worked for, I'm just going to use the post office. Your parents worked at the post office for 30 years, right? And it's retirement time. So they got a pension coming and all this stuff, but an unfortunate situation happens and they're no longer here. Imagine that person's child 20 years after the parent passes away, busting into the post office saying, hey, my mother worked for y'all for 30 years. Y'all owe me her money. What do you mean? She helped pass this mail. So y'all need to pay me for the work my mother did for y'all 20 years ago. You owe me. Well, they like, well, sir, we didn't even work here back then. And you were probably a baby. And, why do we owe you for work that she did? Why do we have to give you her pension for the work that she did? Because, it was blood, sweat, and tears. She delivered that mail on her back. Just these stupid things they say. Or act like it was only black people that was out there building stuff and making things happen. Nope, no Hispanic, no Native American, and no white person lended a hand in building this country, right? It's the most idiotic, dumbest thing ever. And guess what? The fact that I'm even saying this, somebody's going to get pissed off about this and say, oh, Brian's being a sellout. He yada yada. No, Brian's speaking real. So, but it's people like Jennifer Welch, a white deranged liberal woman, and her being a white woman doesn't have anything to do with it. But when you really look at the crazy things that come out of that party, it is white liberal women leading these black deranged liberal women. That's who they're getting their marching orders from. That's who they get their marching orders from. So it is just the most insane thing in the world. Well, on the conservative side, we've got men, women, we contribute. We speak, we encourage each other not to be more deranged, but to be more Christ-like, more God-like. On that side, the more deranged you are, the better. And when you have women like her that feel like she could sit in her fake Eiffel Tower and tell people, hey, you know, you're wrong for not wanting transgenders to be involved in your child's life. You're a bigot because you don't want 100 million illegal immigrants here. How many does she have living in her home? How many does she have around her family? How many people has she taken money out of her pocket to house, feed, and clothe? Not many, if any at all. So I just wanted to bring you this video to let you know what's been going on with this psychopath, Jennifer Welch, and the ugly, nasty things she had to say. And it's people like her that will cause this country to go off a cliff. Can you imagine her being in power? Oh my God. But I just wanted to bring this to you. Listen, if you stay and you watch it up to this point, I really do appreciate you. And from the top and bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you. If you haven't already, hit that like button. If you aren't subscribed, subscribe. Most importantly, I want you to stay safe and you be great. I'm Brian Maxwell saying I look forward to seeing you at the top. Over and out, y'all.